subscribe until you die. Like, subscribe until you die. Like, subscribe until you die.
So, the Jukions, eh? They're fellas who live in abject filth, watch a lot of trash TV, and attack strangers on first sight. That could just as easily be a description of a different type of junkie. The residents of the port town of Greenock, home of Scotland's favourite butt-fast drinking cryptid, the Catman, and winner of Most Deprived City 2020. As seen in the 86 movie, the Junkions were virtually indestructible, as any severed limb could easily be reattached like those nightmare-inducing bird weasel things from the Labyrinth. It's quite fitting then that the Legacy Evolution line gave us weaponizer Junkions. The gimmick with these fellas is that their limbs can be easily dismembered and then used to adorn your favourite bots. Ed Gein would absolutely love this. So today, let's have a look at the three unique moulds from the line: Scraphook, Crashbar and Trashmaster. Plus, we'll have a look at their super secret combined Junkasaurus form at the end of the video. That is just as long as you can handle a mechanical dinosaur made from three guys sharing one digestive tract, like an even more messed up human centipede. Let's start with Scraphook. Unfortunately, this pirate looking fella is the weakest of the three due to one infuriating design choice. Scraphook's arms just love to pop off at the elbow. I know these fellas have a detaching limb gimmick, but this particular form of dismemberment was definitely not intended. The joints that hold on Scraphook's forearm are utterly shite. If you were to fart near Scraphook, the resultant slight change in air density would cause his forearms to fly off at the elbow, go across the room, and end up lost under your bogging couch. It's truly infuriating. This taints what otherwise is a smashing wee guy. I love Scraphook's look, with his jaunty eye patch, goatee beard, and burly big square red chest. He's really going all in on the robot pirate fantasy, especially with this included wee hook. If you add on Paradise Parakeet and replace one of his legs, Scraphook would be a surefire winner of a techno-pirate themed runway on RuPaul's Drag Race. Scraphook is absolutely loaded with accessories, my favourite of which are these concealed shin guns that kind of look a bit like Star Trek phasers. There's a lot of bang for your buck with this wee man. With all these bits in the intended limb removal gimmick, you can really make Scraphook your own. Or you can make a cursed abomination of a thing. Your choice, big man.
My head's peeled upside down. What am I gonna do now?
Transformation would be a very clever and unique wee process, but again, it's ruined by those elbow joints. I am yet to transform Scraphook with him remaining in one piece. Best just mush him into the approximate shape you're aiming for and plug the arms into place at the end. Disappointing. The end result of transformation is admittedly fantastic. What a lovely post-apocalyptic pickup truck. This looks like it's came straight out of the Mad Max universe. I'd love to see a new Mad Max movie where they get present day Mel Gibson all out of his nut and just let him loose in a built up area with this thing. I love the cow catcher at the front. It's more like a cow exploder, as any poor bovine who was in the wrong end of this would instantly be turned into mince. The integration of all the accessories in alt mode is also awesome. Top tier stuff, you mad post-apocalyptic robot trash pirate. Let's move on to Crashbar. My good friend and fellow Transformers reviewer DaveNipples, linked to his channel in the description, named this fella as his bot of the year, so I had to pick him up. You know, he might have been onto something. Crashbar is a glorious wee guy. He comes across like a robotic Lemmy, only without the overwhelming smell of Jack Daniels and unfortunate fascination with Nazi memorabilia. Again, Crashbar is sporting some excellent facial hair. I'm loving this combo of techno Viking helmet and red visor. It also looks like our boy has been doing a fair amount of ab crunches. Look at the definition on this 4-pack. I love the asymmetrical colour scheme in Crashbar. It really gives him that cobbled together from trash look, just like your mad old bin raiding mum. Speaking of trash, Crashbar again comes with loads of accessories, all of which can be swapped about and plugged into any of his numerous accommodating holes. The only weird thing is that his amazingly detailed chest kinda disappears in alt mode. Bit of a shame, as it looks awesome. The back of his legs are also a bit cumbersome, but it really doesn't hamper his posability at all. Great robot mode all in here. An accessory worth a special mention is Crashbar's back wheel. This can detach and open out to become an awesome shuriken thing. It doesn't really do anything else, but it's quite fun to open and close it. I mean, what else are you expecting? The meaning of life to be contained in here? A long lost Shakespeare play? Nuddy pics of 1980s Judy Finnegan? Nah, mate. It's just a wee bit of plastic that gives me joy, so quit giving me a hard time about it, alright? Transformation in Crashbar is good, solid, transformery stuff. Nothing falls off that isn't meant to, unlike Scraphook. Can you tell I'm still really upset about those elbows? You are essentially just putting Crashbar into an extreme yoga pose and attaching his accessories, but the end result is pleasant enough. This is a lovely wee Junkion motorbike straight out of the 86 movie. It's a lot smaller than Wreck-Gar's alt mode, but you could just pretend that Wreck-Gar got pregnant and gave birth to a child version of himself, like in your mental fan fictions you keep writing, you sick freak. Lastly, let's have a look at my favourite of the legacy Junkions, Trashmaster. Look at this bruiser of a fella. He's so chunky. This squat wee simpleton would have 100% made my top 10 of 2023 list if I'd gotten him sooner. Look at his head sculpt. Trashmaster looks gloriously goofy. He's totally got a trap jaw from He-Man vibe going, and I'm very good with that. Everything here is just so extra, like these ear cones, horny helmet and clampy jaw. What a handsome boy. Trashmaster's body is so squat and thick, like a stereotypical 80s wrestler who's definitely dead by now. I love all the sculpted in details Trashmaster is rocking, like these chains and excellent reinforced windscreen. Also, these moulded in fist blasters are proper awesome. Big Trashmaster loves giving the Decepticons a good fisting. The only problem with Trashmaster's robot mode is that he's got a lot of junk in the trunk. You get junk in the trunk because he's a Junkion. If you don't mind a bit of parts forming, you can sort out Trashmaster's big old arse by pulling it off and separating his cheeks. You can then plug them in anywhere you'd like. Great stuff. There's a lovely simple transformation on Trashmaster. You essentially just fold him into a rectangle, but what a rectangle! Fittingly for a race who live in junk, Trashmaster transforms into a wonderfully post-apocalyptic bin lorry. This is something I didn't know I needed in my life, but now I've seen it, I don't know how I've lived without it. It's nice to know that the wheelie bins will still be emptied after society collapses later this year. This alt mode makes great use of Trashmaster's big chompy accessory, which fits snugly on the back of the lorry, ready to swallow up all your filthy household waste, you manky bastard. This is truly an important accessory for not only Trashmaster's alt mode, but also becomes the cornerstone of the Junkion's combined mode. Are you ready, my friends? Here he is. It's Junkasaurus. Wow, just look at this thing. It's so derpy, I just can't help but absolutely love it. I've seen a few Junkasaurus builds now, but they all seem to use Trashmaster's chompy thing as the head. That didn't seem complete to me, so I decided to use Scraphook's body as a skull and Crashbar's guns as chubby, squeezable cheeks. Now my boy looks like a cross between a dinosaur and some sort of terrible robotic bird creature. It's just about perfect and a fitting companion for Skylinks. On my first build of Junkasaurus, I combined Trashmaster and Scraphook's legs on both sides of the creature. Although this looked decent enough, I ended up thinking this was a bit boring, so I took a page out of Crashbar's book and went for asymmetrical stompers. By combining Crashbar's legs together, you end up with this excellent dino leg. This makes Junkasaurus look more ramshackle and cobbled together, just as he should. Trashmaster makes an excellent core for Junkasaurus and ends up giving him most of his heft. These wee holes in his butt flap are excellent for attaching Junkasaurus's big stupid head. Trashmaster's butt cheeks also make great hips for Junkasaurus. These hips don't lie, but they are very effective at holding this newly born scrapyard cryptid upright. The only part I'm not 100% sold on is Junkasaurus's tail. I've used Crashbar's body and the spare odd legs from Trashmaster and Scraphook. The tail isn't attached too solidly, however. The only pieces I had left were these two grey things from Trashmaster. It does hold on fine, but it looks a bit messy. The articulation in the tail is great, however, as you get all the joints in the legs to work with. Articulation is surprisingly great throughout Junkasaurus. His head has a lot of up and down movement, so he can pull off some really good roaring poses. On the whole, I love this build for Junkasaurus, and it's how I'll be displaying these guys. He's solid and surprisingly poseable, given that he's been cobbled together by an absolute idiot like myself. He really reminds me of Truckosaurus from The Simpsons. I'd genuinely like to see what other folk can make with these guys. Someone's already made a mammoth. If you've got a wacky Junkasaurus build, please send me some pictures. Only of your Junkasauruses though. Please don't send me pictures from your mum's OnlyFans again. So, should you get this trashy trio? That's a big yes from me. The individual bots are worth getting on their own, but the endless possibilities of pulling them apart and making your own derpy monsters make these guys an essential buy for any Transformers fan. I'm quite sad that we won't be getting any more unique legacy Jukions, to be honest. It's all bloody rock lords now. Look at Magnus here. Do you really want a bot with an alt mode that looks like Fred Flintstone's SUV? Yes I do. Ah, shite. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Catch you later.